So the idea for today's video actually came from a comment that someone left on a previous video. And they said, you guys should do vids on your lifestyle. And as soon as I read that, I thought that was actually a really good topic for a video, just to talk a bit about and share what the lifestyle is like when you own your own online business. I think it could be really inspiring for people to just see or just at least hear a bit about what it's like when you don't have a 9-to-5 job that keeps you chained down to one place, or when you're going to college and you don't have much money and all these things. So I want to share a bit about how my lifestyle has changed in the last 3 years, sort of since me and Christian started the whole online business, entrepreneur. I hate saying digital nomad, but to be honest, objectively speaking, I kind of am a digital nomad because I've done a lot of traveling and I just travel with my laptop and I can work as long as I have, internet connection. Now, before we started online business, which started back in 2016, we were going to college, worked part-time jobs. I was a Chinese food delivery driver and Christian worked at a physical therapy office. And we went to college full-time and, what more can I, went to college, didn't enjoy it, studied a lot, and worked my job 3 to 4 days a week. And I think a lot of people are living this life, or they have, and they know exactly what it's like. And it's monotonous. It's not exciting. And I think a lot of people actually, they get used to living a life that's not exciting, without adventure, and it's just the same every single day. And going through that, I just realized that is not at all what I want for the rest of my life. Now, I knew that for that period of time, I had to do what I had to do, and it still is like that a lot. My life does not consist of doing the most epic, awesome things all the time. There are periods of time, large periods of time, where I'm doing things that I actually don't want to do. So, ever since we did start our online business, 2016, let's say it took about a year until we actually were successful with it. And this was our publishing businesses. We could move out of our parents' house. So that was September 2017, where we moved to Thailand. And ever since then, which is now 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years, that we've been living the digital nomad, online business, entrepreneur life. So what has the lifestyle been like since then? So there is one overarching theme, or one overarching way of life that has been consistent in those 3 years. But besides that, my lifestyle changes every month or every few months all the time. It's actually always changing, which is actually part of one of the awesome things of having the opportunity to have this lifestyle. But if right now you notice that I'm in a setting that you haven't seen before, it's because I have just started a brand new lifestyle, which I'll get into later. But up until 3 weeks ago, when I just moved into this place, which is a house that me and my girlfriend have gotten a 1-year lease on in the Netherlands. That's a pretty important fact there. Before we moved in here, the last 2.5 years has just been traveling to different countries and then living, 2 to 3 to 6 months, different places, and, Airbnbs. It's been essentially living out of a suitcase for the last 2.5 years. lifestyle for the majority of my career, or as doing online business, has been traveling around, you know, wherever I want, literally wherever I want. There was, when we were living in Chiang Mai, the first time I went there was because it's like the cheapest place to live and there's a digital nomad community. So that's why we chose to go there, not because it's like the most awesome place ever. It's great, but I mean, it's not my number one choice. But then after those 3 months were up, me and Christian literally got together and we thought, where of all places in the entire world would we like to live? Where is that place? And for me, that place was Hawaii. So literally after New Year's, we went to Hawaii. We got a 6-month lease on an apartment, and we lived there. So having our own online business has given us the opportunity to just live literally wherever in the world we want and work at the same time. I think the problem for a lot of people is, you know, they want to travel, but because they have a job, they're locked to this one location and they can't travel. But actually, to be honest, I don't even know. I just love to travel. I don't know if most people, if they did have an online business, if they would do the same thing. Because I actually think a lot of people do have an opportunity to travel if they want to, but for some reason, people think that they're not able to do that because they have to have their own successful online business to do that. And making like good money doing it. And that's not true at all. So if you wanted to live in, I don't know, just let's say travel, there are a lot of places that are incredibly cheap to live in, where you could make less than you're making now at your job and still afford everything that you need while paying less. So an example would be Chiang Mai, and another example would be Bali, where we live. Now prices have gone up there. My point is that if you chose to live, you know, a certain lifestyle in these countries, you could live for less than $1,000 per month. And in order to make $1,000 per month, you don't have to have a big successful online business. You could do freelancing, but you don't even need to be like a self-sustaining person. You can get a remote job. I know that there are a lot of jobs. I don't know if you're working at a company where you can do that, but for example, ClickFunnels, I think, maybe I feel like I should research this beforehand. I think a lot, or most, definitely a lot of the people that work at ClickFunnels are remote, meaning if you have a remote job like that, you can travel and live the exact same lifestyle that Christian and I have been living for the last few years. So the reason that I love being an online business owner so much is it's not about the money. Money's good, but that's honestly not the most important part to me. If I could have, and even let's just say a remote job, if I could have a remote job and make $3,000 a month, or work a 9-to-5 job at a company in one location and make $20,000 per month, I would prefer making $3,000 a month with the ability, you know, the freedom to do whatever the hell I want with my time. Now, of course, you still have to put in your time to do your work, but outside of that, there's nothing holding you down to one place so that you can't go have all these experiences. And that is what's most important to me, is having experiences, is chasing experiences. So at the moment, me and my girlfriend have this 1-year lease on this house in the Netherlands. And you know, the reason why we're doing that is because in less than 3 months, in 2.5 months, we're having a baby, and we want to, of course, be settled in one place. Come on, raising a newborn child traveling is not responsible. Would never do that. And also want to be close to family so that they can help us out. And it's just obviously the right choice when having your first child. But then after this 1-year lease is over, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but my expectation is that I'm gonna be I just need to have experiences and adventure in my life again. That's what I think is gonna happen. So the overarching theme of being able to own an online business is that you can choose your own lifestyle. It's not a particular kind of lifestyle. The lifestyle is that you can choose whichever one that you want. And for me, it is traveling, you know, getting experiences that no one else, and seeing things that no one else usually, or 99.9% of people never get to experience. That's sort of what motivates me to travel or like live. That's one of the things that I chase. But of course, life can't always be that way, and definitely not when I'm here in the Netherlands. Also during this coronavirus quarantine, life is definitely not like that. But even if the whole coronavirus thing wasn't happening, not much would have changed. So I'll say that life has been pretty much the same regardless, or would be the same regardless. Now, during this time here in the Netherlands, my lifestyle is going to be completely different than what it was the last 2.5 years while we were traveling. What my lifestyle is like now is very similar to someone who has a 9-to-5 job, to be honest. And that's why this is not my favorite kind of lifestyle to have 12 months of the year. Doing this 6 months a year would be great because family is also really important to me, and like you can't travel all the time with a family and seeing friends and things like that. So let me just briefly explain what it looks like. It is waking up. I actually even my routine is that of a 9-to-5 job. I work Monday to Friday and I take weekends completely off. Now, the reason why I do that is because I also want to enjoy my free time. I have my girlfriend, and I don't want to be a workaholic. When it's time to work, I work a lot. When it's off time, I like to take completely off. But Monday to Friday, wake up at 5:30, go to the gym, be back home by 7:30, and start working at 8, and then essentially work from 8 to 6 p.m. You know, in the middle of the day, I'll have a break, I'll have a lunch break, I'll have a snack break. But for the most part, it's working from 8 to 6, Monday to Friday. It's not really an exciting lifestyle that I have now. And look, okay, so 80 to 90% of it is spent here. I am very proud of my new office setup, but I just sit here for 10 hours a day. So, by the way, if you are curious to see a like a house tour, I'm very happy to do that. I enjoy doing that. It's nothing crazy, but it also does come with other topics that I'd like to talk about. But my lifestyle now is this, much like a 9-to-5 job. But it's not always going to be that way. I don't want it to always be this way, but it's a certain period of time in my life where I have to do this. And I also am very happy to be settled down and have my own office, because having this whole setup and like an office that is just completely my own with no distractions, like internet is super fast, is so awesome to have compared to the last 2 years where it's like, not all the time, but oftentimes having inconsistent internet and like just having a little desk here on the side to work with people all around. That's honestly what I'm used to, and it's really nice to have this. So there are pros and cons of living a lifestyle, traveling and experiencing and having adventures, and then having a settled down lifestyle where you're living in a place and you own things. So this is honestly the first time that I'm actually really owning things ever. For 2.5 years, I traveled with just what I have in my suitcase. Yeah, this is really the first time that I'm actually owning things, and I am enjoying it a lot. I'm not saying that I'm not enjoying it. It's just not the kind of lifestyle that I dream of having for the next, all the time for the next 30 years. My ideal setup would be something like this. And this is what I expect to have in the future when, my child is born, things are more settled. And that is that 6 months of the year, I will be settled somewhere in the world. Don't know where that would be yet. If I don't have to consider things like, distance from my family, things like that. That place that I want to buy a house and be settled down would be in Hawaii. Hawaii is just the most awesome place I've ever been to. And, Bali's up there as well, but it doesn't have the first world healthcare and education that I would want to have a place where I'm actually living. So my ideal lifestyle, which is what my life will look like eventually, which is 6 months in one place, and then spending the 3 months with my family in Europe, because my family's from Denmark, her family's from Germany, she also has friends in the Netherlands here, and then spending the other 3 months traveling, just experiencing the world and having adventures and just gathering experiences. So the overarching theme of being an online business owner, digital nomad, whatever the hell you want to call it, is that you have the freedom to create whatever lifestyle you want. That's the best part about it. So if you want to just live in one place, you can absolutely do that. And that is why I love owning an online business. It's not about the money, it's the ability and freedom to just do whatever the hell you want whenever you want. And I hope that's inspiring for you, because If you are, I believe like most people with a job, they're not happy with the lifestyle they have because they don't feel like they have the ability to choose to do the things that they want. So you have a job, you have a few weeks vacation every year, then hopefully in that vacation you take the time to travel if that's what you like to do. But otherwise you can't do the things that you want to do. So it's not about the money, it's having the freedom to do what the hell you want. The original comment was, you guys should do vids on your lifestyle. If he means like showing my lifestyle, this is showing my lifestyle at this moment. It's sitting in here for 10 hours a day, and the other time I'm sleeping, I'm in the bathroom, I'm eating food, and I'm going to the park to go for a walk. But that's what my lifestyle is like at the moment. That's really all I have to say about that. If you have any other interesting topics that you would like to like for us to talk about, then please leave it in the comments below. And I don't like talking just about publishing topics. I'd much rather talk about things like this, because I think there's much more to say and there's much more opinions to share, and there's just more discussion and conversation to have. So let me know what you thought. Was this an interesting topic, or was it just lame and stupid? Let me know in the comments. And any other ideas for videos. First, can I give a quick, I think this is really cool. This is one of the cool things about not traveling and having your own office, is you can have really cool shit like this. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.